Welcome to Hebraic Awakening. My name is Tina, and I am back from my Ghana trip. I am trying to adjust to the time zone, mentally, spiritually, physically. It's been really kind of hard for me to adjust coming back here because I loved visiting the continent, especially Ghana, so much. And so I'm really trying to season my words with grace because of the things that I saw and the peace that I felt. And now coming back over here, and it's the same, if not worse, with the things that are transpiring every day. Something new is happening in Babylon every day. So it's been kind of hard, but I wanted to come on here to give you bite-sized thoughts, because I wanted to condense it in one long video, but I realized people are not going to be able to follow for 45 minutes to an hour. So I wanted to break it down, and I want to bring my husband on as well for his personal thoughts about visiting Ghana, Africa. So if you're interested in my thoughts, keep watching. I want to talk about a couple of things that I first noticed, right off the bat, was the high regard for elders and the masculinity that just hit me in the face as soon as we got off the plane. Okay, so let me start with the masculinity. I am not trying to dig at any one of the brothers that may be watching, but I'm giving you my personal initial thoughts. We all know that in Babylon, they are making our men effeminate, okay? And we call them beta men, versus the alpha male and so forth. But for me, the energy of the men as a whole, and we're talking about as a whole, they are making our men effeminate. So when I got off the plane, I seen all of these really masculine men. And I am married to a real alpha male. He's 6'4", okay, 280, chocolate, and he is a man's man. He is what I call an old school type of brother. And I'll be honest, when he's out, I know that he can hold his own, but because of his masculinity and the authority that he walks in, it intimidates a lot of people. And a lot of people are kind of afraid of him just because of his presence. There are men that's bigger than him, but I'm talking about that masculine energy that he carries and the authority that he carries, that everywhere he goes, either you're gonna love him or you're gonna be intimidated by him, right? And so I worry about him when he is out, even though I know he can hold his own. I worry about him. But when we got off the plane and I saw all of that masculine energy, it didn't matter if they were tall, short, stout, or thin or athletic built. They were all masculine, and nobody backed down when my husband approached with questions. They were looking at him in his eyes, shaking his hand, hugging him, and I was like, whoa, I can relax here. Nobody is afraid of my husband, even though he's still, rather tall and husky. Nobody was afraid. Everywhere we went, they grabbed him, they called him father, which I'll talk about later on. We were mother and father, and that's the high reverence that they have for elders. And I thought that was so phenomenal, because that was everywhere that we went. The hotel, to get food, in the mall, whatever, looking at places, it was yes mother, or yes father, or no mother please, and they love to put please on the end of sentences. And so the high regard for elders, when we went and we were shopping for anything, I could not stand because they made me sit. And our hosts, our friends, the buyers, they warned us that when you go out, they're not gonna want you to stand. They're gonna want you to sit down. And it's just a reverence that they have for the elders. You know, sit, please, mother, sit. And I'm like, so my husband was shopping, you know, for an outfit, and they had to, you know, get his measurements and talk about the fabric and all of that. And I had to sit. Everywhere that I went that we were standing more than 2 minutes, I had to sit. And Robin's buyers had to sit. And it was just a thing. Even if you didn't feel like sitting down, the culture, you know, you sat down. And I thought that was so wonderful and endearing, because over here, we do not respect our elders. We just do not. And if you don't know, my husband and I, we have a food pantry for our elders. And the disabled and the widows, ages 55 and over. And we give 1 bag of groceries per month. And we've been doing this for years. We help with light bill assistance. We even help some of the elders with their grandchildren for back to school supplies and clothes. We really take the time to listen and to cater and to help our elders, whether it's cleaning up their houses, whether it's cutting grass. We are going to take the time to cater to our elders, right? So that is part of our ministry. And just to see how our families do their own elders, it's just sad. And we could go back and forth, because I know some people think that, you know, they don't deserve respect. It's a whole thing. But going to the continent, that wasn't the case. For example, we were eating in a small restaurant, and the young man looked like he was in his teens, maybe 18, 19, maybe 20, and he came out to serve us. And he didn't have on a belt, and his pants was kind of sagging, because you could tell that some of the teens are listening to music, you know, rap music that's vulgar. And it's just not good for anybody to listen to. But anyway, you could tell. And he had his pants sagging with no belt on. And we're just sitting there, you know, we didn't say anything. And then the TV had rap on it that was cussing and had vulgar words. So Rabbi Byers, he was like, young man, can you please turn that down, because the language is bad? And he said, yes, Father. And he turned it off and put it on Jurassic Park, right? So we all could have something to watch. And then when he went into the kitchen, by the time he came back out, he had a belt on and his pants was pulled up. And we did not say anything about that. And my husband noticed that right away. And just the high regard for elders, the reverence and respect is, you know, phenomenal. Now, I've heard that the younger generations are not being as respectful as they once used to be, but I am telling you my experience with young people. The respect not only that they have for the elders, but the respect that they had for each other. So I'm going to stop right there, because, you know, me just thinking about that, I'm just getting emotional, because now it's back to the drawing board. Now it's back to, if you post a video, you're going to get trolls and talking crazy. You know, if you say anything to correct young people, like when I got back here, okay, when I got back here, I was angry, because this young man, you know, that lives in my neighborhood, he said, hey, Ma, what's your name? And I went off. I went completely off. And I was like, you're not going to tell me that a whole country full of nothing but mostly young people is going to call me mother and say, yes, please, no, please, to me. And then I get back here to where, you know, I'm supposed to live. And young people, that's how they talk, because the young people didn't talk like that to themselves. I mean, they did not. I watched them very carefully. I am not saying that they are angels, and I am not saying that they cannot do any wrong. I am giving you my personal observation. You could walk down the street and nobody is gawking at you. I watched that. Nobody is saying, hey, Ma, what's your name? How you do? Nobody is saying that as a whole. right? And so I was just angry when that young man did that. And that's why I said, you know, adjusting back to Babylon is hard, coming from that shalom and peace to this. So please stay tuned for my next video. If you haven't subscribed, you might want to subscribe, because we are planning to go back, and I am planning to do more videos discussing the culture in Torah, how Torah is embedded in the culture. So please subscribe to stay in touch, and please give to the elders. You know, we serve our elders tomorrow, and we're taking groceries to our elders because the ministry does not stop. You know, it just does not stop. So please, you know, help us, donate whatever you can, so that we can be a blessing to our elders. All right, and I will see you all in the next video. Shalom, everyone.